word wiki is Hawaiian.
Oh, but
We'll get into his ethnicity.
Cool.
In the track.
Well, we're here with another episode of Rap Reviews. I think that's a good enough intro. No, he doesn't. Kieran doesn't look happy with that intro.
No, I'm perfectly fine with that intro. You take it away.
Yeah, I reckon it's sweet. Go on, tell them who we are.
Do I have resting bitch face?
Yeah, you got it.
All right, hang on, let me smile at you then.
Yeah, well,
Is that better?
Now I don't know. It looks forced and unnatural. And,
Yeah, it's completely contrived.
Yeah, now it looks sinister.
Well, we are here doing this show that we do. My name is Romano. We got Ben.
Mm-hmm.
We got Kieran.
Hello.
And today we are doing a fellow, possibly Hawaiian, but I don't think so.
No, he's definitely not Hawaiian. If you listen to his raps, you'll know that he's half Irish, half Puerto Rican.
Oh,
Puerto Rican, I think, father and Irish mother.
A classic New York mix.
Yeah, that is.
Nice little melting pot.
Is he from? Does he hail from New York?
He was born in New York.
I watched a video today of him and fellow rapper Your Old Droog going around with Sean Evans from Hot Ones, checking out bodegas in New York.
Oh, that's fun.
And seeing what they can get for $10.
And what did they find for $10?
A bunch of nonsense, like a 40, some candy, cookies, stuff like that. You know.
That sounds like a video on the internet.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it's pretty pointless, but it was cool seeing them in their habitat. You know.
But was it an interesting, pointless video?
Yes and no. Yeah. It's interesting to see how they interacted with each other, the two rappers.
I do like old Droog.
Yeah, he's
His
very
last
cool,
album
dude.
was pretty cool. He's got some fun. I wouldn't mind doing him actually. That would be.
He's got a
And
few things coming
These
out.
dudes collaborate quite frequently.
Oh, really?
So they blend into one another very nicely. Your Old Droog sounds so much like fucking Nas.
You reckon? Nas?
Yeah.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, he's got a pretty similar voice, bit of a raspiness to it as well. Okay.
Something in that timber.
Yes, timber.
Talking music here. Anyway, so the track we're doing is Eggs, which is a single that was released between No Mountains in Manhattan, his debut solo album, and Wolfie, which came out in 2019, and I fucking ate up that album. Was so
What is
good.
that one?
Ate up like eggs. I don't know. He just says it a bunch in the. I don't actually know what Wolfie means, but it's not off that album, so you know what? I didn't research it.
I think Wolfie's like, ooh, that's good. Wolfie.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah,
Why not?
well,
Oof, like, you know, when people say oof,
yeah,
it's just like the most bland response. OOFT.
Yeah, the T is the FT is just to really accentuate it.
Yeah, you're trying to make yourself sound cool, but you're saying absolutely fucking nothing.
Yeah,
Yeah, I do.
I've been guilty of saying it.
I do often reply that in text messages.
yeah. You love a good oof.
I love a good oof.
Yeah, you
Look,
do.
we're all guilty of it, but you're not fucking saying anything. So.
No. It's not just a...
But you know what? You say it best when you say nothing at all.
Oh, is that Ronan?
I think it might be the
I think that's
case.
Ronan.
Ronan on your
Yeah, that's
face,
Keating for
man.
sure, dude.
He's Irish.
There we go. So it ties in.
Like
Okay.
Wiki's got a bit of Irish in him. Anyway, this track was produced by Madlib, who, if you've listened to this show, you know that we fucking masturbate a little bit over Madlib. He's a fucking legend.
He's got some good hentai porn out there that you can jerk off to.
Does he actually?
No.
If you typed Madlib Rule 34, you'd probably find something on the internet.
Yeah, someone's probably made at least like the cartoon version of him fucking. Yeah,
Which, I'll probably go home and masturbate to later.
Yeah, nice.
But we'll keep things on the straight and narrow for now.
I don't want to watch you masturbate currently.
No. And I wouldn't want to do it in front of Doom. We got Doom back for another episode, by the way.
Don't
There he is.
He's gonna get
himself.
he's gonna get a big head. This guy.
He's paying no attention
Deserves
to what's
it.
going on. He's currently licking himself.
Doing
right in the middle of where we're
doing
set
a
up.
damn fine job of it as well. So, are you familiar with Wiki and who he is?
I am somewhat familiar.
Did you ever listen to Rat King's album So It Goes?
No, I listened to a little bit of it today, just looking at Wiki and what he had to offer. I didn't know he's part of a rap crew. He's part of a couple, actually.
So I think he got discovered to be part of Rat King back in like the early 2010s. He was just at a block party and went up and started freestyling, and the music cut out, but he just continued rapping. And somebody afterwards, one of the members of Rat King, was like, I like your style. You want to come on and rap some tracks with me?
Oh, that's cool. That's a very holistic way to get entered into a group.
And there's the genesis of Wiki.
Nice.
He's gone from kind of strength to strength in the underground rap scene in New York.
Do we know the what the guys with the teeth?
The teeth. What's wrong with his teeth?
His teeth?
Mm.
He's missing quite a few.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
I'd say probably the dental program that he's on, or lack thereof.
Dental plan. There's all these 40s and candy that he's been getting from bodegas.
So do you not know?
I think
do we
it's.
not know?
I think in an interview he's quoted saying that he just got punched
Oh shit!
and he got them knocked out.
And he just hasn't got
It
the
doesn't.
dentures.
Yeah, it doesn't elaborate on it. I guess it like adds to his kind of image.
Yeah, it
Being
does.
like
for
this
sure.
underground
Yeah.
rapper.
Yeah, grime and dirty. Danny Brown doesn't have a few teeth. He's missing a few, isn't he?
I think he's since fixed his teeth.
Has he?
Yeah. J. Cole famously never fixed his teeth, and they can afford to do.
Yeah.
Wrote a whole song about it.
Owen Wilson never fixed his nose, purposely so.
Yeah, but I feel like that's his moneymaker.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's actually his brother, Luke Wilson, the other actor, punched
See
him.
what fuck
I think
knows?
he when he was about 6 years old, and yeah, he thought it would, if he was to change it, it would take away a lot of his character.
Yeah,
Well,
right.
I agree with that. Yeah, it'd be
so,
weird to
so
see.
maybe
him.
same thing from Wiki. I'm just,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, but just in general, look how more famous and well known Owen Wilson is compared to Luke Wilson. Maybe
Yeah.
all the power is in the nose.
So maybe it. maybe
yeah, it's true because they started out pretty much at the same time.
Yeah, they're
With
just
Bottle
doing
Rocket.
Wes Anderson movies.
Yeah,
and doing their thing.
yeah,
maybe it pays to defy conventional
I think
beauty
the
standards.
wow,
Yeah,
that's helped as well.
Yeah.
Probably.
great actor.
All right, enough about Owen Wilson.
All right, so I got 2 words of the week for you because this song features a bit of Spanish in it. You know, he's really going deep. No, what's the word I'm fucking looking for? Sorry, my
Going to
phone
his
started-
heritage.
Yeah, for his Puerto Rican heritage, really playing into it.
Yeah, I don't
Um,
know what word you were going to look for.
Yeah,
but
I'm not sure either.
no, that works.
That works. Cool.
My phone started vibrating at the same time I was trying to think of a word, which is
Oh.
always a dangerous combination. Hovito, which
Por qué?
I got 2 definitions from Urban Dictionary for you. One from Jonesia. A fake-ass Spanish word Jay-Z uses to reference himself in his lyrics. Since he dubbed himself Jehovah, he decided to add Ito at the end to make it Spanglish. And then the example here is, Hola, Jovito. That's what they saying when I roll up with my people.
Is that not maybe a bit of cultural appropriation?
By Jay-Z.
Try to say onto the Latin.
What's
community.
Hove mean though? Where did he pull Hove from?
What do you mean?
Like I've heard Jay-Z say it a million times, and he has songs referencing it, and calling himself.
Jehovah.
Yeah, but where does Hova come from?
No,
It's not a
fucking
word.
clue.
He's just made that up. It's
Well-
just his Spanglish.
The Hooverville, which was a famous ghetto created by the president. No.
Oh, I thought you actually had.
No,
No, you made that up.
Yeah, you were saying.
Well, the Hooverville is real.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There's also Hoover vacuums.
Yeah.
There's also Whoville.
There is
There
a
is
Whoville.
Whoville.
Yeah.
I don't think the Grinch has anything to do with where Jay-Z concepted this term.
Well, much like Jay-Z is stealing a part of the Latin American culture.
You're really going in for Jay-Z, laying some charges down.
No, he's all right. I just feel like, we got to take a few pegs off Jay-Z when you got the opportunity in life. He's got so much going for him. He's so
Yeah.
rich. He's got a smoking hot wife.
But I mean, the dude is like objectively pretty ugly.
What, Jay-Z?
Yeah,
Whoa. I don't know about that.
he's not a handsome guy.
I think young Jay-Z with his little afro is kind of cute.
Yeah, but he hasn't aged that well.
But not many people do.
You know what? Gotta give it to him. He's thrived despite his looks. Despite these looks, which I don't think he has. Other people might think he has. I don't know. Anyway, and then another definition is Jovito is a word Jay-Z uses in a song which means someone who is at the top of the industry they are in. That's it.
That's it.
Sorry, I had an inflection there at the end, which I really should have brought back down. And the other word of the week is Papi Chulo, which is from Sith Lord Darth RPG, defines it as Spanish for an attractive man or a, inverted commas, handsome daddy.
Okay, all right. I thought you were going to say that was like a reference from like Revenge of the Sith or something. I was like, I don't remember that happening in the movie.
No, this is
Yeah, it
just
took me a minute to
user.
work out that was the
Yeah,
guy,
yeah.
the user.
I'm giving shout outs to the users.
That's good. I
you
like
know?
that. All
I
right.
liked his name, Darth Sith Lord RPG. Obviously, maybe a Star Wars Old Republic fan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Probably a gamer.
Probably a gamer. Likes his video games.
Anyway, should we crack into the song?
Yeah.
There's a sample and there's no lyrics for the sample and I can't really make out what the sample says. So then we go into verse 1. Young Caesar, the crowd pleaser, the town leader in a round theater. When the town need it most, you assassinate my character with all that shit you say. Et tu, Brute?
Oh, wow. He's gone hard on the Shakespeare version of Julius Caesar.
He is.
Incorporating the theatre.
So what happens in that particular play, Romano?
Well, much like in real life, he was assassinated by his fellow senators. And before he dies, he says, Et tu, Brute, which is even you, Brutus. And Brutus was his longtime friend, and they were allies. And Brutus is the last one to stab him. And obviously, that is sometimes incorporated in the history of what happened, which we don't know, because the only ones that were there were the senators who was murdering the guy, who was dead afterwards. But that is what Shakespeare added onto it, basically, to give it a bit of like dramatical effect.
Yeah, a little flair on old Willie's part.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really think there's much else to.
Had that ready to go, dude. That was back pocket shit you just pulled out. That was hectic.
When it comes to Roman history, we can always turn to Romano.
Well, I sort of zoned out when you were saying the lyrics because like Lewis walked through the door as we were talking, so I got distracted for a second, so I missed it. But I came back and you just handed that to me.
I do love that that quote, that line. That's probably one of my favorite out of Shakespeare.
Et tu, Brute?
Et tu, Brute, even you, Brutus. It's just a great line. It is, it works well.
It's like
gets used
indignation of the betrayal that's being enacted upon you by the people you trusted the most.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like kind of like the original, Frodo. How could you do this?
Yeah,
to me?
we were talking about this last week in the Kendrick Lamar episode,
which is also a scene I love. Maybe I just love a bit of like betrayal,
a bit of treachery.
Yeah, a bit of treachery in a dramatic theme.
It's a long-running theme.
Let's just stop saying theme. But yeah, I think he was murdered in the Forum somewhere. I don't think that has anything to do with it. But then they moved his body, Julius Caesar. But that's not in the play.
That happened.
All right,
in real life.
That's facts.
That's facts.
Right.
Let's relate this all back to the track. What do you think he's trying to say here?
Well, he's being betrayed. He's being conspired on, betrayed by some possibly peers. Maybe just the community around him, maybe the fans. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like in the kind of underground scene, because you're so close and connected with your fans, there's probably a lot of shit talk and people who maybe have a little bit of a jealous streak or have some beef with the way you operate and do things.
Yeah, I feel it's a bit like reserve grade footy, where it's like you didn't quite make it to the mainstream and you're just sort of getting older and angrier because you're just sort of second tier.
That's an interesting.
So you're saying Wiki's jaded?
Yeah. Aesop Rock is a lyric where it's like, I know some shit about your heroes that you wouldn't believe, and it's about his place in the rap game and sort of dealing with other rappers behind closed doors and what we don't see.
Yeah, because I guess some guys like Aesop and maybe possibly Wiki as well, like they never broke out, where like Action Bronson was like an underground guy for quite a while, and then he eventually made it into kind of the more mainstream. But maybe he's talking about fans. When you do kind of have success, they kind of turn around and they say like, oh, you changed, you sold out.
That tall poppy syndrome.
Yeah, exactly. Which feel like in Australia we have that a bit in general.
Oh, it's like so pervasive throughout.
Yeah, we don't like
culture.
a showboat or anything like that.
No, even to the point where if somebody like shows like the slightest little bit of boasting, it's like cut them right down to size, which I don't necessarily think is that healthy.
No, it's probably not. Because I think especially during going through high school in your early 20s, you learn to just not want to be too proud of anything because you would just get ragged on. Yeah. So then you just sit and wait for someone else to do it, and then you rag on them. It's a hate beget hates. It's one of those vicious cycles.
What is that? Is that just because it's such like a laid back nation? We're just like a lot of blue collar work in this sort of nation. It's just anyone else who sort of like tries to be anything different is a bit like, well, who do you think you are?
Yeah, for sure. And you see it through you see most of the working class like ourselves, maybe kind of Kieran, but you don't have a really you have an office job, but you still work for like the environment. But you see like suits and you're like, fucking look at these penguins and shit like that.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't. No, Kieran's definitely not in that.
No.
He's not.
Hey,
not the corporate
I'm from
world,
humble working class backgrounds. I've spent many hours rolling ceilings with my old man.
Rolling ceilings. I don't even know you could roll a ceiling.
You can roll a ceiling, mate. How do you think the fucking paint gets on there?
Oh, okay, with a paint roller. Yep, that makes a lot of sense.
Come on, get with the lingo.
I thought you were getting out like bumps or something. Dude. I don't know, like little
I'm
air
talking
pockets.
blue collar vernacular here.
Okay, all right, I'll take it back.
Yeah, I don't know, because the Americans don't seem to suffer from that nearly as much.
No, in
know?
fact,
It's almost
there's
the
almost
other
like
way
the
around.
opposite. Maybe,
Yeah.
but there almost needs to be a happy medium whereby you're not promoting people to have like such inflated egos and senses of self that
Yeah, there's
you
a real
just get
say it with your
this-
chest vibe over in the US, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think we are byproducts of the English, and they definitely have like the kind of more like gallows humor, like ripping onto each other, like, more like it's more commonplace within friendships.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
adopted that. You know, who knows? We're not really like historical. Well, I don't know,
No sociologists,
sociologists. Yeah,
No, we're not really.
no.
and we don't have enough money to bring professionals onto the podcast.
Nor do we know any. So yeah.
That would be fun though to have a sociologist on the pod.
Oh, I dream of the day when we've really hit the top and we can start bringing in, professors to analyze rap lyrics.
And still in this lounge room.
Yeah, and then fucking like Time magazine will write an article about how we're the most inspirational like podcast going around these days.
Yeah.
And you have some high flying dreams.
Oh
I
yeah,
love it.
none of it will happen, but you never know.
Never know. Never know.
I'd love to have a professor of sociology come in and break down 2 Chainz. Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be a good time.
Imagine if you unearthed all this stuff. We're like, whoa, 2 Chainz is deep.
Yeah, like nobody
Yeah.
knew until we unlocked it. With, yeah,
Or like we revisit the Playboy Cardi and the sociologist just has like a treasure trove of information to bring
he annotates
to us.
our episode and comes
Yeah.
back with a whole.
Anyway, stabbed in the back, touche, threw your shade, but they wrote plays about me, named me after the fade.
Well, that's still in reference to Julius Caesar, right?
Stabbing in the back.
Stabbing in the back, and I guess in a way he was somewhat martyred. You know what I mean? Because they killed him because they didn't want him to be a dictator of Rome. They didn't want him to be bring back the emperor of Rome, which they feared. One man having all this power, but then by killing him, his nephew then rose to power, killed all of the senators, and became the first emperor of Rome, and it had been a couple of hundred years.
Damn.
God, I'm so glad that we have this knowledge here because I was like, do I do my historical research? No, I can't be fucked.
Oh, there you go.
I was like,
I'm disappointed that you
banking.
didn't.
I'm banking on Romano to have these things stored in there.
Yeah, the song's worked out very well for you. You come in, no idea what song we're doing, and you just yeah.
Yeah, I was
Damn,
quite
man.
obsessed with Roman history growing up. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, you basically, because I was trying to think of like what named me after the fade means, and I think you've nailed it. Well, you came up with what I thought
Yeah.
was the thing that like once the shade that he refers to as like past, the legacy will shine on.
Yeah. Even though I think like it needs to be reminded that Julius Caesar was a tyrant and, went up into the Gauls and just committed genocide against people just for no reason other than he wanted to see if he could do it and stuff. But he's had a lasting impact on the world itself. Like he went to Egypt and learned about the calendar that we use today, like the Julii calendar. He got that, by basically hanging out with the Egyptians and fucking Cleopatra. And it was like, yo, word, this is a cool way of counting the days.
So he appropriated like ancient Egyptian culture.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. And then when he died, his buddy started fucking Julius Caesar. What was his name? Marcus Antony. Yeah, so that's a bit weird.
They started fucking his corpse.
No, Julius Caesar was sleeping with Cleopatra, and then when he went back to Rome,
Dude, respect. I don't know. I don't know what Cleopatra looked like, but I always imagine her to be foxy.
yeah, she's always
Yeah,
portrayed
she's
as
always
foxy
depicted
as foxy as fuck. I'm sure she was. I'm sure she was great in the sack. But then Marcus Antony went to Egypt and then started having sex with her as well. So also possibly a bit of a promiscuous whore.
Potentially.
But you know what? Yeah, good on him as well. That's
I mean, wouldn't you
like the
do-
ultimate of like fucking your friend's girlfriend after they break up, but like in ancient times version.
Oh yeah, he's just been stabbed to death and assassinated.
There's a lot more on the line.
I don't know. She was probably grieving and wanted a familiar
Roman
penis
cock.
to.
I think everybody at the time was
Please,
just laying it down whenever as well. Also.
Oh,
So,
yeah. Yeah, and I think
if there's flesh to be,
to suck.
I don't know where I was going with that.
But yeah, so maybe that's it. Once people have tried to fade him, but he thinks that his legacy will live on. past all the awful atrocities that has happened to Wiki, which I'm not aware of what has happened to him, but maybe he's had beef. This is like coming off of beef, falling out of some sort.
Yeah, potentially. I'm not sure about any like known or published beefs that he has. Perhaps he just feels like that he hasn't received enough love and attention that his music maybe he thinks he deserves, or he's been panned by certain critics that he doesn't really see any kind of logic to why they're coming up with these like character assassinations on him.
Yeah, and then no, I think that works.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Thematically, it's kind of cool. He's tied it all in, though. Like he's done his research himself.
There's fuck all Genius annotation on this song.
Oh,
not
the idiots on
surprisingly.
Genius wouldn't know about Roman history and Shakespeare.
This is exactly why we need to get on there and fucking lay it down.
Also, if you want to do good at pub trivia, I reckon it's always good to do a bit of a brush up on Shakespeare, because there's always a Shakespeare question in
Shakespeare, Roman history, and Greek mythology.
Yeah. And just, a bit of geography will always be thrown in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do love a bit of pub trivia.
Mm.
Yeah.
I like theme trivia where I know I have an advantage.
Yeah.
I don't like going in blind. I don't want to be getting given flags and being able to say what country it is. All right? That's not me.
Yeah, it's not you.
It's not me.
So Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Always Sunny Philadelphia, dude. Sort me out, you know.
What else? What else you got?
Funny
Wrestling.
things, wrestling ones, sort me out.
I've never seen
dude.
a wrestling pub, pub trivia
It's
wrestling.
just odd. Maybe because it's kind of nerdy, you know?
I think there's a big enough subculture though that people would fucking go off on it.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, definitely. Have you seen the crowds? It's got some fans. Ben's one of them.
I am.
Anyway, moving on. You Tupe, you E Willie, we do say, you must be silly thinking he do yay. I have no idea what an E Willie is.
Yeah, no clue.
Is he just saying people are fake? Is that what he's saying?
Yeah, I think so, because like a toupee is fake.
Yeah.
And I was thinking like, the term e-girl and e-boy referring to like people from like the 2010s, subculture of people on the internet.
Keep going.
I've heard the expression.
Yeah, I've
but
heard the expression,
yeah,
the
but I've never
definition
really
of it.
understood what the kids are
I
talking
think
about.
they were like wearing clothes that were like reminiscent of the goth and emo period, and they were filming themselves a bunch online. They've probably gone on to do OnlyFans stuff, let's be real.
Oh, okay, yeah.
For some reason, I'm picturing like those little, like cat ears, little.
Yeah, I
furry
think
pink
that
cat
is.
ears.
No,
Yeah,
no,
but
not like
specifically
full blown.
furry. Yeah, just like little gamer girls wearing stuff.
Yeah, but like they kind of look like elves. Like they're really into like the elf look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But look, I'm just spitballing here. I have no idea. I think that's pretty accurate that he's just referring to fake people. And you must be silly thinking he do yay. I think that he's probably referring to himself here in the third person and saying that you're silly to think that he does coke. Like he's not a coke fiend. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
You were thinking Kanye?
No, not at all. I
yeah.
wasn't sure what to think. I thought he was just saying yay.
Yeah, fair.
The expression.
The yayo, man.
Is that why Tony Yayo is Tony Yayo?
Yeah, well, yeah, I think Tony Montana says it a bunch of times in the fucking movie.
Okay. Alright. It's been a while since I've seen the film.
Go take a quail and fuck me in the morning.
Shit.
He's yelling at Sharon Stone. And Michelle Pfeiffer, sorry.
Yeah, it's Sharon Stone.
Yeah,
Saying Total Recall back
like,
up.
it's like going after the bad guy, everybody. When he's in the dinner table?
It's been a long time.
Fancy restaurant?
It's been a very long time.
Yeah, too long.
I remember the
That's
Pelicans.
clearly stored deep in. Like,
Oh, man. Me and my dad used to just walk around the house just doing Scarface quotes to each other. Like a fucking Frank on that touch. I never liked that guy, man. It's so good. Like it's a bad accent, but it works. In this day and age, they would never let an Italian play a Cuban. But back in
I still think they would. There's so much of that goes on. It's close enough.
yeah, is it? Ooh.
In the eyes of the producer. Speaking from the context of the producer, they knew the name. They knew he could spit some game. I think he's just kind of furthering his image of like being a legend, and his name will last far longer than he ever will.
Yeah, provided no one takes down his music.
Yeah,
but then it'd probably still live on YouTube, right?
You'd hope so. Yeah, YouTube will be the thing that survives nuclear winter.
Yeah.
Spotify,
Unless the servers
Apple
get
Music.
hit. I don't know. Yeah. How big would the servers have to be at YouTube by this point?
They probably occupy like an entire small nation.
Yeah,
they
would-
probably
would have to.
consume at least like a medium nation's power
Yeah.
levels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let him refrain, but sippin' rem on a train. Got a limp, need to get him a cane. You couldn't sit, shit, let alone live in this lane.
Is he-
Ram on the train? Is he talking about cognac?
Yeah. Remy Ram.
Yeah, Ramignon or whatever it's called.
I think so, yeah. I tried to Google this. I think he might be referring to Saint
Remy Martin, is that what it's called?
Yeah, Remy Martin. That's
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
That's
Remy
it.
Martin.
It's a fancy cognac.
Is he saying here, and this is just what I'm feeling so far, that this song is about where he's at in rap and sort of like how he's underground and feels like he's being appreciated by, and he's sort of questioning that, and him saying that like they knew he could spit some game, let him refrain, but sipping ram on a train is like they knew his name. You know, is that saying that like he has got a bit of a following and people like are aware that he's got skill, but because he's not like making like heaps of money off it and being like really famous over it, it's kind of like
He's caught in the middle.
he's still just on a guy on the train sipping ram.
Yeah, which
And
is
then
like, but he's sipping like quite a nice drink, but still riding a train.
Yeah.
It's like that
And it's like-
dichotomy.
He's got a limp, need to get him a cane. Is that because he's maybe a bit tipsy? Is that what he's trying to say? So,
Yeah, well,
I
he
think-
he's constantly getting knocked.
yeah.
I think that's pretty accurate because in the album that follows this, Wolfie, like a lot of, sorry to use this word again, but the themes in that is that he does, there's like a very obvious line in there, which is something to the effect of like not enough views on the song. It's like he's getting praise or whatever from certain outlets and, you know, he's well respected within his community or whatever, but he's like not quite at that point where he can live comfortably off his talents
Yeah.
Yeah,
and maybe feels a little bit
he doesn't have that Drake money.
no.
Where he can just
But
blow it all the
I
time.
mean, he's also producing music that's not going to appeal to a wider segment of the population.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which just seems to be a choice also.
Mm.
Like you couldn't sit shit, let alone live in this lane. Is that saying like you couldn't do what he does where he sort of like dabbles between both? And it's kind of like, I don't know, you never know when you have to. I watched an interview with him today, actually, funny that, and he was saying that like he's talking about what he'd be doing if he wasn't doing music, and he was like, "Well, I don't know how to do anything else." He goes, "Because I just put everything into this, so I didn't have a chance to learn any other skills." So he's like, "If I wouldn't be doing this, I couldn't live." So he's like, "I need to do this at this point to like stay alive." Is that what he's sort of saying? That other people like would struggle to live in that life? People need like a 9 to 5 and security, whereas he's more than happy to like take the risk in order to do something that he loves.
And it might mean that he's like financially out sometimes.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
yeah.
Which
He's
is-
wholeheartely throwing himself into music.
And it's like a lot of people wouldn't be able to do this, but I'm giving it everything I got.
And
And you got at least got to commend me for that.
yeah,
yeah. Or when people like looking from the outside think, oh, you're a rapper, you live like this high life.
Yeah,
Here you
yeah.
are sipping fucking rem on the train. But he's like, oh, it's not as easy as it might look.
Yeah, the man wants some commendations.
Yeah, it's like I bought that RAM discounted and I didn't pay for this train ticket.
Young Hovito, here sensei, and this is my favorite line, I think, from Wiki. I'm Tito Puente mixed with Big Daddy Kane.
Who is Tito Puente?
Tito Puente
Is it a baseball player or
is the
something?
American Puerto Rican mambo composer.
Oh,
You know that episode of The Simpsons in Who Shot Mr. Burns? And
Yeah.
I think they list, is either Tito Puente that like voices the actor, or is Tito Puente who's actually playing himself as the character? You know when they go into like the
yeah,
mambo room?
yeah.
And he's like, play us a tune.
Wait, which bit is this in the episode?
It was a 2-part. When they're going through his house, aren't they?
It's like they go into his studio and he's really recording something, and they like busts out like a mumbo jam, and the cops are just like, oh yeah, no, he couldn't be.
Oh,
He
I do
couldn't
remember
possibly-
this. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's either Tito Puente or based on Tito Puente.
Oh, okay, all right.
Oh, that's fun.
It's just like real big room kind of Latin infused dance. And Big Daddy Kane, obviously the golden era
Yeah.
hip hop.
Yeah.
Legend. You know.
Um,
Do love a bit of Big Daddy Kane. He slaps.
So it's pretty audacious of him to be comparing himself as a hybrid of, you know, these. But you know what? Go ahead. Do it for the couple of cents made, getting my rent paid, And mi gente, that's how we live in these days. Gente means people in Spanish, just in case.
Right. Yeah, there you go. He does it for a couple of cents and getting his rent paid. He's not making huge bucks off this, but he does it because he loves it.
Yeah. And cents maybe referring to like the streaming money that you actually eventually make.
Yeah, I think he's having a dig at Spotify here.
Yeah. They do not pay their artists properly.
No.
No.
I think he's actually got a line which even more explicitly refers to it later in the song, but we'll get there. And yeah, we get to the chorus. Notes, quotes, everything I wrote, the whole scope, the Pope, ordinary folk, could be dead on the dope, head on the boat, eggs getting scrambled, eggs getting poached. Either way, you're going to feel the smoke. Stupid, Wiki got it coming this year.
That was nice.
That was accurate. There's a lot of lyric though.
A lot of lyric.
I think it's better to probably try and look at this holistically. If you got the lyrics. No, you don't have the lyrics in front of you, Romano.
No, I never do.
I looked at this kind of in a confuddled mess this afternoon, not thinking this was in any way logical or making any kind of sense. And the best that I could come up with was that no matter who you are, what you've accomplished, how regarded you are, or what your vices are, we're all going to perish one day, or we're all going to be ending up in someone's stomach.
Some sort of variety of cooked eggs left on the street.
Yeah, we're going to be scrambled.
I think that's right.
Poached.
Yeah, that kind of makes sense.
We're going to be
Notes,
fucking...
quotes, everything I wrote, the whole scope, the Pope, ordinary folk. It's saying like everything we do, everything we put out, everything we are personally, no matter what position you are, what your reputation is.
We just become mush. The worms eat.
Yeah, and I'm making a lot of Aesop Rock tie-ins, but I'm listening to a lot of Aesop Rock lately. He's got another song off a new album he did with Blockhead called Garbology, and the song's premise is like everything ends up in the sea. And it's the same sort of thing. He's just going through all the things that we stress about and worry about. It's like it all ends up in the sea anyway.
Yeah.
So what does anything actually mean?
What does it all matter?
What does it all matter? What does it all mean? Why are we
What is
here?
the meaning of life?
I don't think there is one.
Will we ever find purpose outside of organised religion?
Probably not in our lifetime, but I hope so one
Maybe
day.
through organised dance.
That's fun.
Yeah, that is
isn't
fun.
that Zumba?
My mum does Zumba. So it's in the blood.
Oh, what happened to the Zumba craze? That was really big for a
It
while.
got really big for like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
I don't know. People.
Well, clearly still big in Coffs Harbour.
Well, it's big in our household.
Well, it's kind of like that. You know what? That's kind of a thing, though. That maybe that really does in life. You know, there's always these crazes that become really big. You know, and then they just fade away, and then
That's
just like human nature.
They end up in the sea.
Yeah.
End up in the sea. They end up scrambled, poached,
Yeah.
fried.
Sunny side up, sunny side down.
Yeah. What else can you do?
Like,
with
what are
eggs?
those little
Devil?
teddy bears that everyone fucking went nuts for?
What, Care Bears?
No, not Care Bears.
Tiny teddies?
No. People still go for nuts for tiny teddies, don't they?
Yeah,
I
I
hope
think so.
so.
I think that's still
If
going.
sense is still prevalent out there in the community, people still go nuts for tiny teddies.
Bears.
There's little like plush toys. Fuck me, I'm blanking on it. They were huge in the
Humphrey.
the late 90s.
Paddington.
No.
Oh, you're talking about the ones people sign?
There was like Jesus.
What, like Tickle Me Elmo?
I can't be bothered to find it
But in
now.
bear form?
See, it's so irrelevant now that I don't remember what it is. But
It'll come back to you just as we're about to finish the
know.
episode, and you can drop it then.
fuck. All right, you guys keep talking. Let me see if I can rack my brain.
All right, verse 2. See the rooster on my chest? I'm cocky. You know, puppy chulo. Her culo got me obsessed.
Ooh.
So culo in
Is
Spanish
ass.
means art. Yeah, nice.
Oh, all right.
Same in culo in Italian. Same thing. Yeah.
This line is very literal. He has a rooster tattooed on his chest.
Okay, I was wondering what he meant by that. Okay.
So
Shows he's cocky.
He's just showing his brazenness, who he is.
And Papi Chulo, we said, was
Papi Chulo is a handsome daddy.
a handsome man.
So
Okay.
you know Papi Chulo, you know this handsome man. Her ass got me obsessed.
Okay. Pretty straightforward.
A raunchy, honky menudo, hardly flossy. You could taunt me, but what the fuck do you know? All right, so you know when you...
Beanie Babies. Sorry.
Show me the picture and I'll see what
You know what a Beanie Baby is. Come
I've
on.
heard. I definitely know the name.
It's like a Furby kind of thing. Well, not really like a Furby. It's the same time.
Oh, I know. I think I know the bears you're talking about.
Yeah. Well, they came in different. Like it was different animals. And
Oh, okay,
different
maybe
things.
not then.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, sorry
we'll
for cutting you off there, Kieran. I found it Beanie Babes.
All good. But I think this is another great line. A raunchy honky menudo.
I'm not sure.
So I had to do a bit of fucking digging into. Obviously, a raunchy is somebody that's like erotic and a little bit.
Yeah, sexy.
Yeah. A honky is a pejorative term referring to white people.
Yeah.
And
uncool nature.
menudo is either a tripe stew seasoned with chili peppers, but can also mean little. So he's a horny little white boy. A raunchy honky menudo. Sounds so much cooler than horny little white boy.
Yeah, that's good.
Great analysis and what's the word? Fucking
Research.
no, but Jesus, my brain is just not working.
Linguistics.
Yeah. Anyway, that's close
Drawing it all
enough.
together. Interesting little side note about honky.
Translation is the word I was trying to think of.
Thank you.
I just burnt my brain out all the stuff with all that Rome
you did
stuff.
well.
Now I'm tanked.
Now who's two cell
Came out of
brains?
the gate too hot.
Yeah, dude.
So honky, generally pejorative, but has been known to be used by white allies of African Americans, as seen in, I'm ripping this straight from Wikipedia, as seen in the 1968 trial of Black Panther member Huey Newton, when fellow Panther Eldridge Cleaver created pins for Newton's white supporters stating, honkies for Huey.
True, there you go.
So is he also incorporating that he's an ally?
Yeah,
Oh,
maybe.
yeah.
I think he's just saying he's a horny little white boy.
Yeah, I think at this point now it's just honky
it's
just
probably
white.
looking too deep into it, isn't it?
Kudos. Nah, I need blue notes. My Jew bro taught me to be frugal. Blew hella loot on the brew though.
Okay.
Blue notes, what's that? Do you have a description for that?
Money?
I do. I've never heard it being referred to as money. Blue notes is a musical term, quite like timber, which I dropped at the start of this episode. Blue notes are notes that are played or sung at a slightly different pitch to like what's standard.
Okay.
And Blue Note Records, to tie things into Madlib here.
Whoa, okay.
So Blue Note Records is a famous jazz label, and they've been extensively sampled throughout hip-hop's history. And Madlib, I think it was around 2003, dropped this album where he took like a whole bunch of Blue Note material and kind of compiled it and remixed it and made his own interpretation. And it's called Shades of Blue, and I'd highly recommend it.
Yeah,
Whoa,
fair.
okay.
That's a great album.
Because you hear at the
Yeah.
start, it's like, welcome to Blue Note Recordings.
Yeah, that's a really good album. Yeah, that is a good album.
No, I thought Blue Note. I was just thinking money. Because wasn't there a thing in America where they turned notes blue for a little bit there? And they're producing like blue notes in America? Kendrick had a whole song about it on Untitled Unmastered.
No, I don't know.
Given what he's saying, that would make a lot more sense than what I put out there.
When did this album come out?
But he's got it's a blue,
2019.
like Madlib has done the production for this song though, so maybe they're both reference.
Because that makes perfect sense
tying
if you
all
said
in.
Madlib produced it as well.
Yeah.
Unless you just mean both. But I've heard people refer to it as Blue Notes before.
Could be a double entendre.
Yeah, I reckon it might be.
Yeah. Jewish people stereotypically known as being frugal, tight with money, but I think they cop all the hate, whereas Irish people,
Yeah,
who
you guys are the-
Wiki
yeah,
is
for
half Irish. We kind of get away
Yeah.
scot-free in that because we are fucking frugal. We're tight as all hell.
Yeah,
Yeah, but is it
true.
more so the fact that
It's like the Italians and the Chinese, man. Pretty frugal as well, but just don't get as much of a
No,
rap.
'cause-
well, is it more
because
that
the
the
Jews
Jewish
take
are
all
like
the-
investing in a lot of big things, and that's what's seen as like a good turnaround?
Yeah, man, they
whereas it's
control
like-
Hollywood, man.
Yeah, but it's like
Comedy, man.
Invest a lot of property and art and stuff like that. Whereas, like, I don't know, do the Irish do that, or are the Irish just
No,
tight?
the
I don't
Irish
know.
don't have any. The Irish don't have any influence except in maybe like comedic circles and
okay,
like poetry and literature.
Right.
Yeah, but I think it's just for some reason. Well, I'm sure there's many reasons, but they're just always vilified, the Jews. So anytime
yeah.
they succeed, people just want to
That tall poppy syndrome come back.
Yeah, there was a famous man in Germany who was not a fan of them, and he really didn't have much of a reason to hate them.
Okay, I have to do some research, man.
Yeah, you might have heard of him. His name was Hitler.
Just in case it wasn't obvious who you were referring to.
Alex Hitler, was it? Alex?
I
Began with
wonder,
an A.
I wonder if like Adolf is still given to kids as a name these days.
No,
No, definitely not.
definitely
no,
not.
that's way kind of.
Except there is a rapper. His mom was a crackhead, and she called him Adolf.
God.
Yeah. what's his name? His name was Baby Hitler.
That poor kid is
But
just
then he
like
changed
set up
his
for a
name,
lifetime
like
of
the rap
hardship.
name. Just-
That's actually, I mean, it's fucked up, but it's kind of a clever
Yeah.
rap name, Baby Hitler. 'Cause you know the whole Baby Hitler complex. It's like, that's kind of funny.
yeah, but his mom was a crackhead.
Yeah, well, that's not funny.
Yeah, that's why she called him Adolf, like, because it's just awful.
Yeah, it's insane.
I think in Germany it's actually illegal.
Mm.
True. that
Yeah,
would make
Germans
sense.
Germans are very sensitive about anything Hitler related.
Yeah, about the Holocaust.
And like, fair enough.
Yeah,
You know what? You have reason to be.
It's not their proudest moment
No.
in history. It'd be fucked up if they had like a national holiday for like that time that they try to take over the world. Well, they try to do it twice, but you know,
Mm.
people forget that. But yeah, you know, World War One.
That'll
That'll just.
I mean, naturally preceded World War II.
Yeah, exactly.
You see the price you had to concede to a peaceful life. Jesus Christ, will it be he that reads my rights? Will I see the light? This will make it hard to sleep at night.
Shit. So,
Yeah.
you know, considering the existence of Jesus.
Is he a Catholic man or he's got that Irish bro? And
I presume Puerto
yeah,
Ricans are
Puerto-
Catholic as well.
And Puerto Rican, yeah.
Mm.
So I'd say Catholic upbringing for...
He's been to church a few
Wiki.
times. He's been forced to church.
Yeah,
at least.
yeah. He's definitely had a little bit of that dry wafer.
Yeah. That beautiful dry wafer.
And that too
magically
you-
gets converted into the body
Body of
and
Christ.
flesh of
Yeah.
Christ. Sorry,
that,
Ben.
you see the price you had to concede to lead a peaceful life. Is that what also he's bringing up again? Where he's at and where he's decided to be at? He can live peaceful because he's not too famous, and he's
I think so.
it's a
I think
comfortable
so.
enough life for him.
He's seen the dilemma. He's seen that, the path that he's choosing isn't going to be one that's easy or provide him with security, even maybe satisfaction sometimes, but he's pursuing it because that's his passion.
Yeah.
Well, that's all he knows how to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that makes sense. That works.
Mm.
I was thinking conceited like he was possibly toying with the idea of giving up to leave a more, comfortable life. More structured.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that's why I read it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, so you're saying, yeah, okay, yeah, now I get it now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think so. I think we agree.
I think so. I don't fucking know what he's saying here.
Rappers be doing rap stuff.
Indeed, they do. I just keep it tight, keep going. Ain't no knowing, just some cheap advice I'm giving. What's the piece I'm getting off the fucking stream subscription? But I need it just as much as you need to listen. There you go. There's that obvious tie-in. to it.
Yeah. Like, what is the point of people even subscribing to his music digitally when he doesn't really get a fair enough cut?
No, but he needs everything he can get also at the same time. It's just so he needs more people to listen.
So it's like
he can
that-
get, even that's a tiny amount, he needs
Yeah.
something still because it's his only way of living.
Yeah.
And I mean, this is a dilemma that I guess quite a few people or quite a few artists probably face with streaming on somewhere like Spotify, in that they know that they're getting a raw deal, and hey, maybe they don't like that Joe Rogan's out there plugging anti-vax messages as well, but it's like, we can't, like, as much as the community wants to be like, boycott Spotify, it's like, we need this as a platform to reach people. Like, we can't simply take ourselves off.
Yeah. And I just think with music, it's always, the artists have always seemingly gotten fucked. Like, back in the day with record deals, the labels would take most of the money. And now with, like, when you can be independently releasing music, the streaming platform's going to take most of the money.
Well, it's just like an abusive relationship that's transformed itself into the digital world.
Yeah, that's why they ultimately do need to perform live, because that's where they actually get a reasonable cut.
And if I can recommend any gig to go to, it's a fucking Wiki gig. One of, honestly, the best gigs I've ever been to.
You've been to a Wiki gig?
Yeah.
Here in Australia?
It was right before COVID hit, the weekend before. I think it was like early March here. He played at like a tiny room in the Factory Theatre in Marrickville.
True.
And there were people fucking crowd surfing. It was like it was proper mosh, but not like kind of contrived mosh. Everybody's just like jumping around because it feels like the right thing to do. Everyone was so invested in that room.
Yeah, well, I guess that's the cool thing about smaller acts is that it's gonna, when they do perform, it's gonna draw like basically diehard fans.
Yeah. So I really wish we're going to see, for the audience, JPEG Mafia tomorrow night here in Sydney, and really wish we'd gone when he come a couple of years ago. But now this time he's changed venues like 2 or 3 times because he just keeps selling tickets, and it's like I feel like he would be
which
good
is
to
good
see.
on him, but-
Oh, like stoked for him, but like
absolutely, yeah.
yeah, for us, I really would have liked to have been there at just like a small, little venue with like 100, 200 people in there.
Yeah, and I think that is my to anyone out there, wherever you are in the world, if you see a band that you really like and they're in town, try to see them because it just
Do it before they blow.
shit changes. I saw Arctic Monkeys in Vancouver fucking 9 years ago, and the front area had 500 people in it, and it was like $80, and it was an amazing gig, and it was just like hardcore Arctic Monkey fans. And I can't even go to them. They're playing at the start of next year, and they're playing in a
Sold
fucking
out.
stadium that's sold out.
How much are tickets? Probably
like $170.
that is fucking absurd.
So, and I know it's been 9 years, but you got to take the advantage. When we missed out on that JPEG last time, he brought out fucking Slow Tie and Denzel Curry. So just with anything in life, if you see an opportunity, take it. Don't be left wondering.
Grab life by the balls, by the cojones, if we're indulging in a bit of Spanglish here.
Yeah, actually, I gotta go to the old fucking film lecturer told me once. So he was in LA in the 90s, and he was talking to this record shop guy, and he was like, "Yo, is there any cool acts to see around?" And he's like, "Oh, actually, these guys are playing tonight. You should see him." And he went and saw them. He was like, "Oh, cool." And it was Jane's Addiction. And if you don't know, they're quite a famous band. And it was just like when
huge old rock band.
Yeah, huge old rock. And they're from LA, and they were on the come up. And then he went back to the guy the next day, and he was like, "Dude, that was sick. What do you got for me like tonight?" And he's like, "Oh, he's actually like there's the Doors cover band playing at the Go Go Whiskey Bar." And he was like, "I don't want to see fucking Doors cover band. I don't, whatever." And he just doesn't go. And then the next day he goes back in the record shop, and the guy's like, "Dude, why weren't you there? I was looking for it." And he was like, "I'm not gonna fucking see a fucking cover band." He was like, "Man, he was Val Kilmer getting ready for the role, playing Jim Morrison with the keyboardist from the Doors." And he was like, "Fuck," So it just shows you, it's like, don't let things slip by in life, because then you'll be left regretting.
Bit of sound life advice from Rap Reviews.
And sometimes just a normal cover band's a bit of fun. All right,
Yeah.
to you, Professor. All right, you're not above that.
Yeah. But he ultimately regretted it because he was being pretentious, he was being a wanker, and then he missed out on seeing fucking guy fully embodied Jim Morrison.
Yeah, so when your local cover band plays down at the RSL, don't miss out on tickets.
Yeah, that's a weird one though, because I would just naturally not go to a lot of cover bands.
No, but if you're getting recommended like a cover band by the record shop guy, you know that it's probably like gonna be good. It's not gonna be like your shitty.
There'd be a part of me be like, it's probably a mate of his. He's probably trying to get numbers there. It's not me.
Yeah. Then again, I went and saw a Grateful Dead cover band once because they're very famous in America, and it was quite fun. And
it's not like you can see the actual band anymore.
No. I think Jerry's dead, isn't he? Jerry Garcia.
Yeah, I don't know which ones are dead, but I'm sure there's more than one.
Yeah, there'd be a few by this point, but Jerry was the big boy of the group, wasn't he?
He was.
Anyway, enough of that.
We're almost done. While I keep pretending that I make a decent living, I'm in the streets drinking or in the sheets hitting them cheeks stinking.
Oh, that's an ooft. That's
an ooft, yeah.
So hitting them cheeks, what could that possibly refer to? Knocking of the boots, perhaps?
I think so, but what position?
Bit of doing the no pants dance.
Yeah. But do you think because
maybe making the beast with two backs?
Do you think
bit of how's your father?
Bumping uglies.
Let me finish. Do you think the stinking is referring to the butthole or the pussy?
Ooh.
It's just that sex stank, dude.
Yeah,
Isn't it? It's an amalgamation of stinks. It's a melting pot of.
It does really release a stank.
Oh yeah. Apparently,
it's-
porn sets are very, very stanky business, dude.
Yeah. You need a guy going around with some fucking sanitizer.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah, get
sweat
those
and goop
aromatics up
being
in
mixed
there.
together. And
It's a beautiful smell to be a part of, But if you're witnessing that, having not been the person involved in the sex,
Oh, it makes you
it's-
sad.
It's putrid.
Yeah.
Well, I did read the other day, just on that note, a couple of weeks ago, Gwyneth Paltrow, one of her Goop candle stores, actually burnt down. So that would have been a stank street for a bit.
Oh, yeah, because she makes it to smell like a pussy.
She does, but apparently it's quite a nice scent. So, yeah, there you go.
We calling fake news on Gwyneth Paltrow smelling like a delicious aromatic smell.
You say, are we calling fake news?
Yeah,
on
we
this?
call-
No, I'm backing it up.
Yeah. I love how she fucking made all that money selling candles that smell like her pussy.
Yeah,
Like,
she's got stores everywhere now. She's
you
a
got to
huge
hand
thing,
it to her.
man.
She's
Yeah,
a fucking genius. Good
How
on
do
you.
How do you do that? Do you get like a scientist to measure or like analyze the compounds, like the chemical compounds that are coming out of your pussy, and then like somehow manufacture that into a candle?
Yeah. I love the idea of a crack team of scientists just sitting around her pussy. And just
swabs
like just going, no, I think it smells more like this, and then just making something.
You
Yeah,
know,
that's
you
kind of
know
close.
that classic meme of is it Young Thug? No, it's not Young Thug. The dude that's like in the chemistry laboratory. And it's like finally. Anyway, you should never describe a meme.
No,
No,
But you know
we
the
tried
one
to
I'm
with the
talking
microwave
about.
memes last week.
Yeah.
And I was listening back. It was infuriating me trying to
Yeah, I
explain
know.
what it was.
And I kind of knew what you guys were talking about now in hindsight, but yeah, fucking memes. No more
Fucking
meme talk.
memes. Anyway, it
more
goes
meme
back to the
talk.
chorus. Then there's an outro. What the fuck do you know? What the fuck do you know? Young Caesar, I'm in the streets. What the fuck do you know? Young Caesar, crowd pleaser. It's all like scratchy, kind of harken back
the little
to
bits
it.
of what he had said earlier just mixed up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the whole song is really just him saying where he's at and sort of like, I don't judge a book by its cover. I'm still out here and doing my thing. I'm not really making a lot of money off this.
But I'm
I
happy.
could be more, but I'm
happy.
I'm happy, dude. I'm doing the best I can
Yeah.
and trying to live off something I love,
Yeah.
And whether it means just rent money, he's happy with that for now.
Yeah, good
I think that's-
summation there.
Yeah, that is
Stank.
an excellent conclusion to our podcast. Oh, we still got to get BPMs.
Do you want me to take it away?
Yeah, take it.
I will be honest with you guys. I haven't heard this song, but I really did like the lyrics, and I think it was quite tight and compact. It seemed like a good mixture of personal, and I'll just give it a 410.
Nice.
Arbitrary numbers.
Yeah.
That's solid. I can get around that. I'll give it a 400.
I was going to say it's just a 4. Wow.
No, not just a 4. Yeah, 400. I don't really have a reason. Sort of what you just said was all. What you said was good stuff.
Cool.
I'm going to jump on that.
Yeah, just ditto it.
And I like Wiki, man. He's cool.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it a 390.
Oh, I thought you would have some more nationalistic pride for your Irish cohort.
Look, for other Wiki tracks, I probably would. I don't think this was quite as not comprehensive, but not quite as cohesive as like some of his other songs and what he's trying to get out. I think there was a little bit of chaos and confusion in here, but
But this is the track you've brought us today.
yeah, because I love this track and I love all the
It
little.
feels like it goes against what the score and anyway, yeah, whatever.
Doesn't necessarily have to be this is probably one of my favorite tracks of Wiki's. Probably not for the lyrics, but it's also a popular track.
It is
that
a great
people will
track.
know.
And 390 out of 500 is a solid score.
Yeah.
That's a good song, dude. Like,
Because like maybe it's just because we weren't able. I think you summed it up pretty well, Ben. Like we got there in the end, but it was like a little bit trying to get there. Hurt my brain a little bit, but I did really like all the little Spanish tie-ins, and I think I'm going to be referring to myself from now on as a. Fuck, I've totally forgotten the phrase.
Yeah, I knew you would. You're a honky white. You're honky. You're a horny little white boy. That's what you are. You can't say the other way. You don't have the Puerto Rican, dude.
I don't have the Puerto Rican, but it still doesn't mean that I'm going to refer to myself as a raunchy honky menudo. Anyway, thanks for listening. Tell your friends.
Yep. Thanks, everyone.